Good morning and welcome to another episode of Speed Drive X. Today we are at Condor Motors because we are going to review the F90 BMW M5 Competition.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in Durga, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah, hey, every day can be a better day despite the challenge.
This car has a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 making 617 horsepower, 750 newton meters of torque with a 0 to 100 km/h time of 3 seconds flat. It has a variable four-wheel drive system or X-drive where you can either keep it in four-wheel drive or go completely crazy and go rear-wheel drive for some drifting madness. This car's engine is mounted to an 8-speed automatic gearbox that drives power to that four-wheel drive or X-drive system. As you can see, this car's design is menacing. Right, you look at this design. This car has the laser front headlights, which is BMW's brand new headlight system. It has the kidney grille with the M5 logo on it, and it has an aggressive front stance. If you saw this in your rear view mirror, you would get out of the way, because I think you would have to, because these laser lights can flash for miles. But it is a very aggressive looking car, and it is really nice. In my opinion, it is one of the best looking BMW M5s that has came out so far. Let's go to the side profile of the car. On the side, this car has 20-inch rims on all four corners with some fresh Pirelli P0s on it. From the side profile, you can see that this vent, which is real. In most cars it's not, but in this car it is real. You can put your finger through it and there is a hole. It says M5 on it. You have the side mirrors, and then you come around here. It doesn't look so aggressive when it's different compared to a normal 5 Series, but it is on different suspension than the normal 5 Series, and these rims are the competition rims. And then this baby also has a carbon roof, if you can see here. And that is about it for the side of this car. Now let's come to the back. Now if you come around back, you can see the M5 logo blacked out and the M5 Competition, it says on there. There's a tiny little lip spoiler on it, and it has a more aggressive front or rear diffuser, and of course the quad exhaust pipes, which link to that 4.4 liter twin turbo V8, which we will be hearing in a while. Now it has a more aggressive rear diffuser, and unlike a lot of cars, these exhausts are real. They are connected to the car. I think we should hear what this exhaust sounds like. As you heard, you saw the car first in efficient mode and then in Sport Plus, where it absolutely was popping and banging. This car has a soft limiter at 5,000 RPM, but I don't think anybody would care, because in Sport Plus you can piss off a lot of people, and in efficient mode you can go and nobody would know, and it would just be a normal 5 Series. That is really one of the amazing things about the BMW M5 Competition. Now let's take a look at the trunk. Obviously it's automatic, and it is huge, more than enough for 4 or 5 people to take their luggage. You should come and take a look. This is the mandatory safety triangle that is mandated in Europe, and other than that, Trunk is big. That's about it. Nothing much interesting in the trunk. Close the trunk. Now let's head on and check out the engine. Okay, so now we'll go and take a look at the hood. To pop open the hood, you come here and you pull this lever twice. Yep. And then you can just go and pull it up, and behold, 617 horsepower, 700 Newton meter of torque, making 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. It has, it has a lot of piping on it. It looks very raw in terms of an engine. Like, they didn't hide all of this, which is really, really cool for BMW to do that. And you know, this part all has this carbon fiber texture on it. It's hot. So yeah, this is also a 2019 car, so it shouldn't have any problem whatsoever. And this is the M5 Competition. So let's go see what the interior of the M5 Competition offers. Welcome to the interior of the BMW M5 Competition. We have a red starter button. Push it, foot on the brake, and then beast comes to life. This car also has one of my favorite features, which is that where you can lower the sound of the infotainment system or radio by just, you know, moving your finger, you know, like that.
And you could put this on repeat.
That is really cool. So now inside the interior of the M5 Competition, obviously this is a very, very nice place to be. The seat that I'm sitting on, it is super comfortable, but manages to hold you in place really well because you can adjust how tight the side bolsters hold you. I don't know if you can see it. Oh no, you cannot actually see it, but you can really adjust how tight the side bolsters hold you in place when you're driving. Woo! It gets really tight and really snug, and then to save your seat position, you can just, it'll automatically show up in the infotainment system. That you can just click the button and then it will save the seat position. We're not doing that now. And then you come here, you have this gorgeous thick M steering wheel, which I love. Then you have the M2 and M1 buttons. The M1 is programmed for everything to be in sport. M2 is default program, everything to be in sport plus. Then you press it off and everything is in efficient and comfort. Obviously you can go in the infotainment system. You go to vehicle settings, you go to M setup, then you can configure M2 to whatever configuration you want, and you can configure your M1 to whatever you want. Optimally, you would set this, if you live in Malaysia, to 2 driving modes. One would be for the city and one would be for when the border is open and you can go to Genting. Now if you want to check out a video of me driving a 500 horsepower BMW M4 through Genting, you can click on the pop-up banner on here or wherever it is. And in the interior of this car, you can see it's gloss black with all the blue accents. Now I chose blue as the interior lighting color because it is easier to see, and obviously the M color is blue. Oh, this steering wheel also has the M badge and M stitching inside the steering wheel. Come here and take a look. Inside the steering wheel, we got the M badge here, and also cloth seat belts with the M stitching on it, which looks super super dope. Really like it. So when you're in a BMW M5 competition, you should wear the seat belts, not because it's safe, but because you have cooler seat belts than everyone else. Because I'm pretty sure you're the only person who has a car with seat belts that are not black and has some cool colors on it. And it also has this M badge on the headrest. Just makes it more cool, I guess. Oh, these are really nice seats. And then we come to this part of the car where one super smart feature of the radio presets is this, where you can just roll your fingers on if you forgot what you assigned these buttons for, and it will show you what it is, and then you can press it. So they're touch sensitive and it is really cool. These are your climate controls. Around here obviously you have heated seats in this car. I mean, of course you do. Then this part here is for your cup holders and a wireless charger. Here are your cup holders. Push this closed. Obviously this car is almost brand new, even though it is a recon car, but it is brand new. It has the, you know, a lot of the plastic still on it. You have this gear lever, which I believe is actually for the competition only. So this part up here is actually to adjust your shift aggression, on how aggressive or fast you want your gears to shift, which is really cool. It is also in the, I think, all of or most M cars. And then you have your traction control off button, and these are your individual settings where you can set your, maybe you keep everything in comfort, you can set your steering to Sport Plus, and you should check it out here, right? You have everything in comfort. You can set your steering to Sport Plus or comfort or whatever, and then you can change your suspension to whatever you want. And then there's the loud exhaust button, so that you can have your exhaust either in loud mode or quiet mode when you don't want it. These are your park assist or parking sensor turn-ons. This is your camera view, and yeah, this is your handbrake. This is to control the navigation system, and this part is a small storage space with also a USB and a 12-volt socket with a tiny light here to keep your stuff, I guess. And it is also a hand rest, so you can rest your hand when you're probably doing illegal speeds. Now this car is limited to 155 miles an hour, as are all BMWs, but if you remove the limiter, this car will go in an excess of 190 miles an hour, which is close to 300 kilometers an hour. That is pretty much it for the front of this car. Now let's go to the back. Okay, now we are in the back of the BMW M5 Competition, and this is my seating position. I'm almost 6 foot tall, and dude, the back of this car is super comfortable. That is partly because this is a really big car, but it's super comfortable at the back. You even have, you know, ambient lighting. You have an AC vent here. This whole thing is leather. Your seat is leather. You also in the back have your colored seat belts. So in the BMW M5, everybody's gonna be wearing the seat belts, my friend. Then you have this part, which pops open and reveals 2 cup holders for 2 drinks. Obviously, if you want, this could be a 5-seater. I don't think anybody would want to sit in the middle of this car, but you can. You have climate vents and your climate controls here, dual zone climate control. You can adjust everything. You even have heated seats at the back, which is really cool. And you also have ISOFIX points if you want to use a baby seat. I don't think people in Malaysia use a baby seat though, so this is pretty much useless for anyone outside or anyone inside of Malaysia. Well, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it for the back, because this car is really nice. It has these really cool lights though in the back with this really cool pattern on it. But other than that, yeah, BMW. Oh, it also has a really nice thing. This thing is really good quality. Just thought I'd say that, because in most cars it's trash. Now we can go for a drive. BMW M5 Competition. Okay guys, now driving the BMW M5 Competition in comfort mode. Everything is in comfort. Let's see how she rolls. I'm just gonna take it slow and easy at first. Okay, in comfort mode it's smooth, easy to drive. It soaks up the bumps really well. I mean, it's a BMW 5 Series, like what did you expect it to do, right? You know, signal, let's say if you put your foot down in comfort mode, it goes. It gets up and goes. There is some lag in the gearbox because it is in comfort mode, so it takes its time. Before it shifts or kicks down. But in comfort mode, it's super comfortable. Soaks up the bumps really well. Now we are stopped at a traffic light. In efficient mode, auto start stop is on, so turn it off. Don't drive with that. That is annoying, but it is super comfortable. It's nice, you know. It's a BMW. It behaves like a BMW when you're driving normally. You know, if you're stuck in traffic in KL or anything like that, you'd be just fine. But the thing about it in comfort mode is it doesn't feel slow or sluggish. Like some M cars do that. Like the M4 we drove, if you haven't seen the review, you can check it out up here. It felt pretty terrible in comfort mode. I don't know why or what. Maybe because it has the dual clutch gearbox, but this is super, and it doesn't feel like it's slow. Even in comfort mode, it feels like it has some power to it. And these are some pretty rough roads that we're on. I like it. It's super smooth over the bumps. You know, it soaks them up really well. Wow, I'm really impressed with the suspension, because I mean, I expected it to be harder, a lot harder actually, but it's really good. But let's say I put the steering in Sport Plus. Now what? Whoa, now it's super responsive. The steering is super responsive, but everything is still in comfort, because I really don't want to be going in this place with everything in Sport Plus. But let's just see what it feels like if the suspension was in Sport Plus. Come on. Oh yes. Oh wow, the steering is a lot heavier and the suspension is a lot harder. Wow, that's a huge change in terms of the suspension. Now you feel everything. Now, is it super hard like race car, the suspension? No, it's not super hard, but I'm gonna put it back in comfort. like a thoroughbred race car, no. But it is a lot harder than what it was, and it is well gonna keep this car in place. Wow, I'm very impressed. Turning on my heated steering wheel. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a Malaysian that turns on his heated steering wheel. Hell yeah. And I also use my signals, okay? But let's see. Comfort mode, everything in comfort mode. Right. Now let's see what happens when we push the M2 button, put everything in Sport Plus, and then nail it. Woo-hoo-hoo! This car is, and it, wow, you really feel the bumps of it. Well, everything in Sport Plus. Now in comfort mode, this is how you drive an M5. You put it in comfort mode, the suspension, you put everything else in Sport Plus, and then you nail it. Because the steering response is incredible, and your throttle response is really good, like really good, because a lot of the power, as I said in the M850i video, comes from the V8 and not the turbos itself. Is instant torque, instant power. This is the ultimate family car. Oh wow, I've never actually enjoyed heated steering wheel before. Until now. Because the AC in this car is so cold. Now I think for me as a Malaysian to say that is a huge compliment, that the AC is too cold. Wow, but the throttle response, it's just amazing. Wow, this is a hell of a car. That is just perfect, dude. You know, I went over those red line things just now, okay? I wasn't going slow, I went pretty fast. And you didn't feel it, I didn't feel it, I just saw it. But my steering is in sport, my throttle response is sport, it's super responsive. What a car, man. The gearbox is super smooth, there's no like thud or anything. I mean, if you want that, buy a Ferrari or something. Right, but this, man, super saloon on steroids. Now lately I have been having a lot of BMW content, and I mean, the only people that are giving me these cars happen to be BMW owners. So I mean, there's no AMG owner who gave me a car or anything, and even these dealerships have BMW, and it's probably because they're so comfortable, they're so nice. If you could have one car and you have a family, you should buy an M5. Buy this Competition, right? It's for sale here at Condor Motors, and it is just beautiful. It is something else. It's not like, it is literally, you can take this to the office, right? You're probably a businessman if you buy this car, right? You take this to the office, no one knows. You're like, oh, you bought a 5 Series, blah blah blah. Then you get on the highway and smoke a 600 horsepower Evo. Yep, you can do that. Well, the steering in this car in Sport Plus is heavy enough that it's not like so heavy and you're gonna get tired doing it, but it's also super responsive. I don't want to say this is my favorite M car, because I did just say that about the M850i, but I mean, it's really close to being a favorite. I'm pretty sure the M8, if BMW Malaysia, anyone has one, give me a drive, will probably be my favorite BMW. But actually, I would prefer this over the M850i because this car has 5 seats, 4 doors, enough luggage space for a week-long trip for all 4 people in it. This is one of the best cars ever. Now, let's see how good the reversing sensors are, because everyone compliments that in the BMW, right? Let's see if I can get it in without running into a Type R or a Mini Cooper or any expensive car that I cannot afford. Holy, this camera is literally golden, my friends. This is reversing gold. I don't have to even look out of the car. Wow. This is also really fun because it looks like a video game. That would probably cost you a lot of money if you fuck up. Let's see if I can get it perfectly inside that rectangle that it was on. This is almost perfect, my friends. It's in the square, my friends. Then you push this button here, park, pull the handbrake, and we're golden, my friends. This car is awesome. Okay guys, I just came back from driving this M5 Competition on the highway, on bumpy roads, and I can tell you, hands down, if you want one car to do everything and you have a family, you're looking at it, man. You're looking at it, no, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, if you're really ballsy, this car is limited 240 kilometers an hour or 155 miles an hour. You can take the limiter off. It will do 300 kilometers an hour. But it was amazing to drive. It was great. Do I have any negatives of it? Yes, it's a bit on the heavy side. You feel the weight, but the suspension does a really good job in Sport Plus of masking that weight, but you still feel it. I mean, it's almost 2 tons, right? You can't just make 2 tons disappear. But for more sick content, I don't know if you have or not, but you should probably subscribe to Speed Tribe X, because I am an upcoming YouTuber who's trying to make a living reviewing cars and having fun. I hope you had as much fun watching this video as I did. This car is for sale here at Condor Motors at probably one of the cheapest M5 competitions, and this is a 2019 car, so it's spanking new. It has all the plastics on it. You can come and unwrap it. Still has the new car smell, probably has a little bit of me smell in it. But BMW M5 Competition. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Speed Tribe X. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Ciao.